Ferry 23 from Team Blue Star is setting the pace, followed closely by Dustjazik from Team S1s. It's a tight race with Famaka and Haruto 5 trying to catch up. These drivers are not holding back. Gary No Name's on fire, zooming past 4 cars to claim 23rd place. Cedric seems to be struggling, dropping a massive 10 spots to 28th. Duff Dad and C-Lady7 are making moves, now sitting pretty in 5th after overtaking Snaku 5, 115, and Super Milai. Koki Benenity and Xperi have claimed the 15th position, surpassing Lord Whisker Soflu Feeberg and Deplorably Apple. Altudin or Amdi Turi, Dum Deplorably Apple. The two pairs are currently engaged in a tight battle for the 15th spot. Hugger 3. In the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage, is fiercely contesting the 11th position with Todd R. Gardner and Maya in the Faisal Vega Faisal 2-2. The three drivers are locked in a tight battle as they maneuver around the track. Famaka is putting pressure on Haruto 5 and Ferret 23 for the 3rd position. One serious guy has impressed by climbing to 7th place, passing Okayoki 3 to Aitil. Huggett 3, Todd Gardner, and Maya are battling it out for the 11th spot, with Huggett 3 in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage, and Todd Gardner and Maya in the Faisal Vega Faisal. Serhutukhe. Racing Potatoes Car Hash 3 is in a tight battle with Car Hash 40 and Amy for the 8th position. Famaka Haruto 5 and Ferret 23 are currently in a tight battle for the 3rd position. Keep an eye on these drivers as they navigate through the course. Ferret 23 has advanced to P3, surpassing both Famaka and Haruto 5. The three drivers are now engaging in a fierce battle for the 3rd position. Captain Potato in the Nissan Skyline 2010 R71 is going head-to-head with Rizaldi Adha in the Mercedes-Benz 300 CSL for the 22nd position. The competition between these two drivers is heating up as they navigate the track. Green Jet, Lord Whiskasoff Luffyberg and Deplorable Bleeple are currently locked in a tight tussle for the 14th position. One Serious Guy is now in 5th place after overtaking Duff Dad and Seal 87. The three are in a tight battle for the 5th spot. Additionally, Aetion 1792 has climbed to 9th place by passing Okayoki 3 Twile. One Serious Guy, Duff Dad and Seal 87 are in a tight battle for 5th place. Sniku 515 and Super Milai have made some moves, now sitting in 7th place after overtaking Air 40 and Amy. Le Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot have climbed to 18th place, passing Andravake in the process. Welcome back, Shipbroman. Glad to have you back in the race car spectating action. Let's rev up those engines together. Racing car fire. Just Jezik has made a move to secure pole by overtaking Ferrer 23 in the race. Following closely, Ferrer 23 has advanced to P2 after overtaking both Wayne Train 94 and Luke Hemboken. Serious Guys making moves, advancing to 6th place by overtaking Snicker 515 and Super Melee. Rizaldi Adha is on the hunt, narrowing the distance to Kazushuk and Uzion 7 by 2.1 seconds. Things are heating up on the track. Wayne 94, Nukem Buckham and Just Jay-Z are currently fighting for the top spot. Wayne 94 and Nukem Buckham are in a Chevrolet Chevy Nova SS 66, while Just Jay-Z is piloting an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage. Aetion 1792 has made a strong move, advancing to Pate by overtaking both Arrow 40 and Amy. The three drivers are now engaged in a fierce battle for the 8th position. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are making gains on Huggard 3, reducing the distance by 2.4 seconds. Vera E23 is leading the race after overtaking Wayne 94 and Nukem Buckham. In the fight for second place, Wayne 94 and Nukem Buckham are closely followed by Just Jay-Z. Further down the pack, Sniku 515, Super Melee, and Aetion 1792 of Team Blue Star are battling it out for the 7th position. Rizaldi Ada is steadily catching up to Kazushuk and Yuzjun 7, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Sniku 515 in the Chevrolet Chevy Second Nova SS 66 is dueling with Super Melee for the 7th spot, while Aetion 1792 in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage also in the mix for that position. Keep an eye on this tight battle unfolding on the track. Win Serious Guy makes a bold move up to 5, passing Duff Dad and Seal 87. F40 and Amy made gains to Pate, surpassing Snkoof 115 and Super Melee. Uniep climbs to 13, overtaking Lord Wiskasov Luffyberg and Deplorable Eagle. Lord Wiskasov and Deplorable Apple have advanced to 14th place, surpassing Kokibinity and Experiditoai. Kokibinity and Experi have moved up to 15th, overtaking Bobardo and Polokostanine. Bobardo and Polokostanine now hold 16th place after passing Duff Dad and Seal 87. Hey there, Wilster 4546. Welcome back to the racetrack. Glad to have you tuning in again. Racing car checkered flag. Andre is making a strong move, narrowing the gap to Duff Dad and C87 by 36 seconds. Farrier 23 has made a bold move to grab second place from Just Jazik. The two are now locked in a fierce battle. Meanwhile, Hugo 3, Todd R. Gardner, and Maya are all fighting for the 10th spot on the track. It's a tight competition between the drivers in their respective cars. Farrier 23 in the Ford Maverick 70 is fiercely contesting P2 against Just Jazik in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage. Meanwhile, Kazashok in the Uzone 7 in the Pontiac Firebird Transom 77 are neck and neck with Rizaldi Adha in the Mercedes-Benz 300 Zone for P21. Captain Potato is fiercely contesting Gary No Moan from Team No Name Racing for the 23rd spot. The competition in the back of the pack is heating up as they fight for position. Captain Potato in the Nissan Skyline 2000 ETR is currently locked in a tight battle with Video King 24 and Jessak 72, both driving a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am 77 for the 24th position. The race remains intense as they maneuver around the track. Hello Thorios! Welcome to the stream where we watch racing cars, driven by artificial intelligence, in a racing simulator. Feel free to ask anything or just hang out and enjoy the races. If you want to chat with me, just say "Hey Amy" followed by your question or comment. Enjoy the show! Just Jazik makes a bold move to take P2 from Farrier 23. Todd R. Gardner and Maya make a strong move, advancing to Penn, leaving Huggard 3 behind. It's a tight battle for Penn between Todd R. Gardner and Maya in the Faisal Vega Faisal 2, and Huggard 3 in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage. Captain Potato in the Nissan Skyline 2022 R71 is dueling it out with Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 212 Export for the 24th position. The race between these two is intense as they navigate the track. Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 212 Export is closely contested by Captain Potato in the Nissan Skyline 2000 to R71 for the 24th position. The battle intensifies as they navigate through the course. Wayne 94 and Nukembokem are currently setting the pace up front, with just Jazik keeping a close eye on them in second place, while Fourier 23 is trailing behind in third. Let's see how this race unfolds as the competition heats up. Captain Potato is on the move, advancing to 24th place after overtaking Kamikaze FEA. The battle for 24th place heats up between Captain Potato in the Nissan Skyline 2000 R71 and Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 212 Export. Okioki 3 is making a move, catching up to Snakoof of 115 and Super Melee by 2.6 seconds. Over at P19, La Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot are in a tight contest with Rizaldi Adha. La Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot are behind the wheels of a Maserati 3500 GT, while Rizaldi Adha is piloting a Mercedes-Benz 300 cell. Just Jazik is closing in on Wayne 94 and Nukembokem, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Hugged 3 from Team Nafgum Kings and Greninjeb are in a tight fight for the 11th position. Zygo 22 from Team Vanguard is making a remarkable push, closing in on Feds with an impressive 408.1 second gain. The competition is heating up. Yakov 150 and Super Melee have advanced to 7th place, surpassing Okayoki 3. Okayoki 3 has now claimed the 8th spot, overtaking Todd R. Gardner and Maya in the process. Todd R. Gardner and Maya have moved up to 9th place, passing Hugged 3. Duff Dad and Seal87 have made a strong move, jumping to 14th place by overtaking Kokibai Nitty and Xpere. The battle for the 14th position is heating up between Duff Dad and Seal87 against Kokibai Nitty and Xpere Dai. Rizaldi Adha makes a swift move, now in 17 after passing Bobado and Polokostanin. Meanwhile, Bobado and Polokostanin are pushing hard to catch up, reducing the gap by 73.5 seconds. Andrea is making a move, catching up to Duff Dad and Seal 87 by 2.2 seconds. Gary No Name has climbed to P22, passing Captain Potato. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is not backing down, advancing to P23 after overtaking Drenon and Brisetha Bandit. Zigoto 22 is making a spectacular surge, closing in on Drenon and Brisetha Bandit, with a significant 353.2 second reduction in the gap. Aetion 1792 from Team Blue Star is making a move, catching up to Kazashok and Use John 7, lessening the distance by 2.4 seconds. Snako 515 and Super Melee are gaining on Wazirius Guy, reducing the margin by 2.1 seconds. Just Jazek from Team S1 has taken the lead, surpassing Waintra 94 and Nukembakam. Kamikaze 38 has made a move to secure the 23rd position, successfully passing Captain Potato in the process. Raining Jet from Team No Name Racing has advanced to 10th place, surpassing Hug 3. They are now engaged in a competitive duel for the 10th position. Rizaldi Adha, Bobardo, and Polo Costanini are locked in a tight battle for the 17th position. Rizaldi Adha is piloting a Mercedes-Benz 300 while Bobardo and Polo Costanini are behind the wheels of a Faisal Vega Faisal Tatou'i. La Quaison 1980 in the Maserati 3500 GT is trying to hold off Sir Ironbot in the same car, and Aetion 1792 from Team Blue Star in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage for P19. It's a close battle as they navigate the track. Andreak is making moves, climbing to 15th place after passing Duff Dad and Seal 87. In the back, Rizaldi Adha and Aetion 1792 are fiercely contesting the 18th spot. It's a showdown between a Mercedes-Benz 300 Cell and an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage. Aetion 1792 has made a fantastic move up to 16 by overtaking both Bobardo and Polo Costanini in their intense battle. They're driving an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage, while Bobado and Paula Costanine are in a Faisal Vega Faisal. Dukuan. Meanwhile, Kazashuk and Iuda John 7 have advanced to P20 after passing Duff Dad and Seal 87. Duff Dad and Seal 87 are making a strong push towards Feds, decreasing the gap by a significant 103.8 seconds. Just Jazik from Team S1 is gaining ground on Wayne Tre 94, and Kem Bochum, decreasing the gap by 3.1 seconds. In another exciting development, Kazashuk and Iuzjon 7 are catching up to Lokwowan 1980 and Sarayrombot, closing in by 3 seconds. The serious guy is now catching up to Famaka and Haruto 5, reducing the gap by 3.6 seconds. Ferrer 23, in the Ford Maverick 70, is maintaining a fierce battle with Jazik in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage for the second position. Keep an eye on these drivers as they navigate through the race. Snuku 515 and Super Milai are making gains on Air 40 and Amy, reducing the difference by 2.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Seal 87 have advanced to P25, surpassing Feds in the process. Famaka and Haruto 5 are steadily catching up to Just Jazik, reducing the distance by 2.3 seconds. Andre in the Mercedes-Benz 300 Cells 6.3 is holding off AG1 1792. In the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage for the 15th position. The battle between these two drivers is heating up on the track. Duff Dad and Seal 87 have made a significant move, climbing up to 24th place by overtaking Video King 24 and Jasak 72. It's a close battle between the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage and the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am 77 for that 24th spot. Hugot 3 is steadily catching up to A. Raphael, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Seal 87 are making gains on Kamikaze 38, shrinking the distance by 2.30 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers inch closer to their competitors. Duff Dad and Sea Lady 7 have advanced to 21st place, successfully surpassing Gary No Name. The trio is locked in a spirited competition for the 21st spot, with Duff Dad and Sea Lady 7 steering an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage, and Gary No Name behind the wheel of a Nissan Skyline 2000 R70 or 71. Renan and Brucette the Bandit are swiftly gaining on Feds, reducing the difference by 2.1 seconds. Koki Beninity and Xperi are making strides, advancing to 13th place by surpassing the duo of Lord Whiskas of Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple. Amy has made a great move to claim 5th place, passing Wazirius Guy. The battle for the 5th spot is intense between Amy and Wazirius Guy. Meanwhile, Aetion 1792 has climbed up to 14th place after overtaking Andre Gupta. Aetion 1792 is making a strong move, catching up to Koki Beninity and Xperi, reducing the gap by 552.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Lacroisson 1980 and Siraren Bud have climbed up to 18th place, surpassing Kazashuk and Eugene 7 in the process. Lacroisson 1980 and Sir Ironbot are making a rapid comeback, reducing the gap to Resuldiata by 588 seconds. Lord Whiskas of Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple are also on the move, catching up with Duff Dad and Sility 7 by 595.6 seconds. Kogi has made a bold move up to Polivan, overtaking Koki Beninity and Xperi. Wayne 24 and Nukembokem have surged to the front, surpassing Furry 23 for the lead. An exciting battle is brewing among them in their respective Chevrolet Chevy Desica Nova SS 66 and Ford Maverick 70. Andriake has also made a significant move up to 14th place, overtaking Bobardo and Paula Costanyang. Okayoki 3 is now in P27 after losing 9 positions. Aetion 1792 has narrowed the gap to Koki Beninity and Xperi by 2.6 seconds. Katsushok and Eugene 7 have advanced to P18, passing Duff Dad and Sea Lady 7. Gary No Name is catching up to Lord Whiskas of Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple, reducing the gap by 580.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 is gaining on Dranone and Brusetha Bandit, shrinking the difference by 510.5 seconds. Air 40 and Amy have made significant progress, moving up to 5, overtaking the Sirius Guy. Acheon 1792 is swiftly catching up to Koki Bananity and Xperi, reducing the gap by 230 seconds. Duff Dad and CIT7 are gaining on Kazushak and Eujon 7, closing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Okayoki 3 is catching up to Dranone and Brusetha Bandit, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Okayoki 3 is making some serious moves, catching up to Dranone and Brusetha Bandit by reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. The competition is heating up. Kamikaze 38 has advanced to 21st place, surpassing Gary No Name in the process. Hey, Quack.A2, welcome back to the racing action. Hope you're ready for some high-speed thrills and epic finishes. Great to have you back in the chat. Checkered flag, automobile dashing away. Amy has successfully climbed to 4th place, surpassing both Famaka and Haruto 5. She's in an intense battle for that position. Bobado and Paula Costanier are making a move on Andre Wake, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Welcome back, Pone 133. Great to have you back in the race car spectating action. Let's enjoy the exciting AI races together. Snickle F115 and Super Melee are making the move, reducing the gap to AF40 and Ami by 4.8 seconds. Ationis 1792 is closing in on Koki Binity and Xperi, narrowing the gap by 2-3 seconds. Rizaldi Adha is catching up to Bobado and Paulo Costanin, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Gary No Name needs to watch out as Videokin24 and Jasak72 are rapidly gaining on them, reducing the gap by 3.1 seconds. The tension is high as we witness this exciting battle for position unfold on the track. Ferrari 23, Famaka and Haruto 5 are currently locked in a heated battle for the third position. Famaka and Haruto 5 have made a strong move, now in third place after overtaking Ferrari 23. A heated battle is brewing between Famaka and Haruto 5 and Ferrari 23 for that coveted third position. Famaka and Haruto 5 have advanced to P2, successfully passing Dusjazic. Devdad and Sila 87 are gaining on Lakrasan 1980 and Serarmot, decreasing the distance by 3.6 seconds. Lord Whiskers of Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple have climbed to P19, overtaking Kazashuk and EU's John 7. Snuku 515 and Super Melee make a swift move to claim the 6th position, passing both Todd R. Gardner and Maya. Todd R. Gardner and Maya now hold the 7th spot after overtaking Dusjazic. Lacroissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot advanced to 16th place, surpassing Duff Dad and Seal 87. Kamikaze 38 is making a strong move, closing in on Bobardo and Paulo Castanin, with an impressive 38.5 second reduction in the gap. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are making significant gains on Snuku 515 and Super Melee, cutting the difference by 2.1 seconds. Ferrier 23 is making a move, catching up to Waintra 94, and Nukembakum reducing the gap by 2 seconds. Rizaldi Adha has successfully overtaken Andreves, securing the lead. Kazashuk and Oyuz John 7 are fighting hard for the 19th position against Bobardo and Polokostanin. It's a tight battle between the Pontiac Firebird, Transam 77, and the Faisal Vega Faisal Tuta. Let's see who emerges victorious in this exciting duel. Bobardo and Paulo Costanin are on the move, now in 18th place after successful overtake on Andre Viakite. Video King 24 and Jasak 72 make a move, advancing to 22nd place by overtaking Gary, No Name. The battle for 22nd heats up between Video King 24 and Jasak 72 in a Pontiac Firebird, Trans Am 77, and Gary No Name in a Nissan Skyline 2000 AR70 R71. The serious guy from No Name Racing is steadily closing in on Wayne 94 and Nu Kembo Kun, reducing the gap by 3.6 seconds. Okioki 3 is making some moves, gaining on Drinon and Brusetha Bandit by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. The competition is getting tight in the middle of the pack. Captain Potato advances to 24th place, surpassing Feds from Team No Name Racing. Ferry 23 is making a strong move, decreasing the distance to Famaka and Haruto, 5 by 5.2 seconds. Yunon and Brusetha Bandit have climbed to P24, surpassing Okayoki 3. Sniku 515 and Super Milai are making gains, narrowing the distance towards R40 and Amy by 2.9 seconds. Greeniup has made a solid move up to Paid, surpassing Todd R. Gardner and Maya in the process. Aetion the 1792 is steadily catching up with Koki Benignity and Xperi, decreasing the gap by 3.1 seconds. Amy making bold moves, climbing up to 4th place by passing Wayne Trey 94 and Nukem Bokane. Meanwhile, Aetion 1792 is on the move too, advancing to 12th position after overtaking Koki Benignity and Xperi. Okayoki 3 is making moves, narrowing the distance to Drunon and Brusetha Bandit by 2.2 seconds. Greeniup is making moves, narrowing the gap to just Jazik by 29.5 seconds. Lord Whisker Softloopabed and Deplorably Apple are on the move, now in 16th place after overtaking Lacrosse 1 1980 and C Ironbot. Warheim Whisker. Oh. Amy is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to just Jazik by 4.30 seconds. Wayne Trinity 4 and Nukem Bokum have climbed to 6th place, passing Grenijib, who in turn has pushed up to 7th by overtaking Todd R. Gardner and Maya. Hugo 3 is making massive strides, closing in on Snicker 515 and Super Melee by a hopping 36.7 seconds. The pressure is on for Snicker 515 and Super Melee as Hugo 3 rapidly gains ground. Team No Name Racing's Winzerius Guy has surged to the front, claiming pole by overtaking Famaka and Haruto, fired in an impressive move. Vinon and Bruce the Bandit are making moves, narrowing the distance to Gary No Name by 2.5 seconds. Duff Dad, C97, Lord Whisker Sofufiberg, and Deplorable Evil are fiercely contending for the 15th spot. Okayoki 3 is on the move, catching up to Junon and Bruce the Bandit by reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Hugot 3 has advanced to 10th place, passing ARFL in the process. ARFA is now in 10th place after passing Hugo 3. Rizaldi Atta is making gains on Duff Dad and C87, reducing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Huggins 3 has made a significant move up the ranks, climbing to 10th place by overtaking ERFAL. Kokibininity and Xberry have just made a slick move, pushing past Hugger 3 and sliding into the 11th position. Hugger 3 from Nafgum Kings is on fire, closing in on Kokibi90 and Xberry with a remarkable 17.8 second gain. Waintra 984 and Nukembakan are making gains on Era 40 and Amy, reducing the distance by 3.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Andriac is closing in on Lacroisson 1980 and Sir Ironbot, cutting the difference by 2.7 seconds. Exciting developments on the track as the race dynamics continue to shift. Todal Gardner and Maya are making impressive progress, rapidly closing the gap on Waintra 94 and Nukembokum by 6.2 seconds. Duff Dad and Seal87 are making a strong push, closing in on Harder 3 by 42.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Sniku 515 and Super Melee are narrowing the gap on Greninja by 3 seconds. The battle for positions is heating up as the race progresses. Free is rapidly closing in on Rafael, reducing the gap by 6.1 seconds. Ferrer 23 is steadily catching up to Win Serious Guy, reducing the distance by 3.7 seconds. Good news for Atian 1792, who has climbed to P9, successfully passing Sakuvlu 115 and Super Milai in the process. Just Jezik is steadily catching up to Ferrer 23 from Team Blue Star, reducing the gap by 2 seconds. Lord Whisker Soft Luffybeg and Deplorably Apple have made a move up to position 14, overtaking Duff Dad and Celia 87 in the process. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are making gains, closing in on Wayne 94 and Nukem Bukem by 2.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Duffdad and Seal 87 have climbed to 14th, surpassing Lord Whiskers of Luffy Bag and Deplorable Apple. A tight battle ensues between Duffdad and Seal 87 and Lord Whiskers Soft Luffy Bag and Deplorable Apple for that 14th position. Rafael has made a decisive move, closing the gap on Atium 1792 from Team Blue Star by 2.8 seconds. Hug Free has made a significant move up the field, advancing to 10th place by overtaking Rafael. Koki Benenity and Xperi are making a move, reducing the distance to Rafael by 3.3 seconds. Hudid 3 continues to make significant gains on 81-1792, reducing the gap by 41.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Lord Whisker Softluffybag and Deplorableeple are both closing in on Snookerfeeve 115 and Super Milai, narrowing the margin by 2.2 seconds. Just Yazek making moves up to P2, overtaking Famaka and Haruto 5000. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are closing in on Air 40 and Amy, shrinking the gap by 2.6 seconds. Grinning Jeb is on the hunt, reducing the distance to Wayne 94 and Nukembokem by 2.2 seconds. Andreoish makes a swift move, climbing to 17th place by overtaking Rizaldi Adada. The battle for 17 between Andrei in a Mercedes-Benz 300 Cell 6.3 and Rizaldi Adha in a Mercedes-Benz 300 Cell is heating up. Koki and Eneti and Xtheri are putting pressure on Hugger 3, narrowing the distance by 2.7 seconds. Hugger 3 is closing in on Greninja, reducing the gap by 38.8 seconds. Additionally, Okayoki 3 is making gains on Gary No Name, cutting the distance by 2.7 seconds. Ferrier 23 has made a great move up to 3rd place, passing both Famaka and Haruto 540. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 from Racing Potatoes is gaining on Gary No Name, reducing the distance by 2.30 seconds. Andreek is making gains on Lacrosse 1980 and Sirarenbord, reducing the distance by 2 seconds. Meanwhile, Bobardo and Paulo Costanin are swiftly catching up to Rizaldi Adha, closing in by 2.8 seconds. Kamikaze 38 is on the move, catching up to Videoking 24 and Jazak 72 by reducing the gap to 2.2 seconds. Hugger 3 successfully passed A.I. Rafael, climbing to 10th place. The intense duel between Hugger 3 in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage and A.I. Rafael in the Ford Maverick 70 continues for that coveted 10th position. Amy is making a strong push, closing in on Famaka and Haruto 5. Reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Okayoki 3 is making a move on Gary No Name, shrinking the distance between them by 2.40 seconds. Video King 24 and Jasak 72 are making significant progress, catching up to Kazushuk and Ujijun 7 by reducing the gap by 36.2 seconds. The pressure is on as they close in on their competitors. Lord Whisker Sofluferberg and Deplorably Apple have made a strong move up to P13, surpassing Snaku 515 and Super Melee. The four drivers are now engaged in a heated battle for the 13th position on the track. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 is steadily gaining on Kamikaze 38 from Team Wangan Midnight Runners, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Amy is gaining ground on Famaka and Haruto 5, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Todao Gardner and Maya are now in 5th place after overtaking Ferry 23. Aetion 1792 from the AI team has made a bold move up to 7th place, overtaking Ferry 23 from Team Blue Star. Just Jazik is quickly catching up to One Serious Guy, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Feds is making a move on Janone and Brusette the Bandit, narrowing the distance by 2.9 seconds. The competition is heating up as these cars jostle for position. Hughead 3 is closing in on Grinningjig by 583.9 seconds. Furry 23 is gaining on Kokiba Ninity and Xperi by 587.7 seconds. Wayne 94 and Mukemba Kamba are catching up to Todd R. Gardner and Maya by 4.1 seconds. Furry 23 has advanced to P11, successfully passing Hughead 3. Nico 515 and Super Melee have made a strong move up to 12th place, successfully overtaking Hugrid 3 in this intense competition. Amy is rapidly closing in on the Serious Guy, reducing the gap by 538.1 seconds. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are also making gains on Famaka and Haruto 5, narrowing the distance by 11 seconds. Amy is now reeling in with Serious Guy, with an impressive 538.1 second gain. Waintra 94 and Nukembokan are putting the pressure on Todar Gardner and Maya, reducing the gap by 586.1 seconds. Just Jazik is also making a move on Aetion 1792. In the meantime, Grinningjig is closing in on Just Jazik, shortening the gap by 33.1 seconds. Welcome back N29 Kia. Glad to see you back in the race car action. Racing car checkered flag. Bobardo and Polo Kostanin are closing in on Rizaldi Adha by 542.6 seconds. Feds is catching up to Kamikaze 38 by 536 seconds. It's a tight battle for the 12th position between Nordwiskers of Luffyberg, Deplorable, Snuku 515, and Super Melee with some impressive car matchups. Just Jerzik is rapidly closing in on Aetion 1792, reducing the gap by 9.4 seconds. Rizaldi Ada has made an impressive move up to 16, surpassing Snuku 515 and Super Melee in the process. Bobardo and Polo Kostanin are making a remarkable comeback, drastically reducing the gap to Snuku 515 and Super Melee by 50.1 seconds. Oh, looks like there's some rivalry brewing in the chat. Watch out for those limited time emotes, they can be a game changer. Underegg is now in 13th place, surpassing Duff Dad and Seal 87. Katsushok and Yujon 7 have advanced to 18th place, overtaking Snuku 515 and Super Melee White. Pagot 3 is making gains on Video King 24 and Jasak 72, decreasing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Famaka and Haruto 5 are gaining on Air 40 and Amy, reducing the difference by 2.2 seconds. Haga 3 advances to P19, passing Video King 24 and Jasak 72. Okioki 3 also progresses to P21, overtaking Snuku 515 and Super Melee UI. Welcome back to the stream, Naimi Mitula. Great to have you back in the race car action with us. Let's enjoy some thrilling races together. Aetion 1792 is closing in on Wayne 94 and Nukembo Kelmo, reducing the gap by 3.5 seconds. LaCroix 1980 and Sir Ironbot are closing in on Duff Dad and Seal 87, narrowing the gap by 2 seconds. Gary No Name has advanced to P22, overtaking Drenon and Bruce the Bandit. Gary No Name is making a strong move, catching up to Video King 24 and Jasak 72 by 567.8 seconds. Koki Beninity and Xperi have advanced to the 9th position, passing A. Raphael. Ogre 3 is closing in on Kazushuk and Yuzon 7, narrowing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are closing the gap on Famaka and Haruto, 5 by 4.2 seconds. Andre Aig is also narrowing in on Lord Wiskasoff Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple, reducing the gap by 4.5 seconds. Rizaldiada is gaining on La Croissant 1980, and Sir Ironbot, decreasing the margin by 3.8 seconds. Captain Potato has progressed to P26, passing Snakufov 115, and Super Miwai in the process. Okayoki 3 is making a move on Kamikaze 38, now just 2.3 seconds behind. Okayoki 3 is putting on the pressure, steadily closing in on Kamikaze 38 with a 2.7 second reduction in the gap. Haggard 3 is now hot on the heels of Kazushuk and Yuzhon 7, reducing the gap by 3.8 seconds. Amy is charging towards Wunzirius Guy, reducing the gap by 4.8 seconds. Similarly, Lord Wiskasoff Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple are catching up to Farah 23, closing in by 3.5 seconds. Todd R. Gardner and Maya are now in third place after overtaking Famaka and Haruto 5. Andreayak is making gains on Lord Wiskasoff Luffyberg and Deplorably Apple, closing the gap by 3.2 seconds. Haga 3 is closing in on Kazushuk and Yuzhon 7, reducing the gap by 2.30 seconds. La Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot are narrowing the distance to Duff Dad and Shield 87, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Drenon and Busa Bandit are gaining ground on Gary, No Name, closing in by 2.50 seconds. Okioki 3 has made a significant move, getting closer to Drenon and Bustabindid by reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. La Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot are rapidly catching up to Rizaldi Adha, reducing the gap by a significant 11.2 seconds. Bobardo and Paulo Costanin are making a strong push towards La Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot, reducing the gap by a significant 39.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Ferret 23 from Team Blue Star has climbed to Pen, surpassing ARF. It's now a heated competition between Ferret 23 and AR Rafael for the coveted 10th place. Famaka and Haruto 5 are catching up to Todar Gardner and Maya, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Atiana 1792 is closing in on Famaka and Haruto 5, decreasing the gap by 4 seconds. Duff Dad and C Lady 7 are reeling in Andravake, closing the gap by 3 seconds. Disjazik is closing in on Wayne 94 and Nukambokam, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Duff Dad and Seal 87 are also making strides, narrowing the distance to Andravate by 4 seconds. Okayoki 3 is making moves, catching up to Janone and Brusetha Bandit by reducing the gap to 2.7 seconds. Koki Benenity and Xperia are making a move on Grenenjib, narrowing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Ferry 23. Advancing to the 9th position after overtaking Koki Beninity and Xperi, Daital. Rizaldi Adha making gains, closing in on Duff Dad and Seal 87 by reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Todar Gardner and Maya are making gains on Air 40, and Amy shortening the distance by 2.2 seconds. Lord Whiskers of Floofyberg and Deplorable Apple are also closing in on Irafael, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Jusjozek is making a strong move, catching up to Wayne 94 and Lukambakam by reducing the gap to 2.7 seconds. Okayoki 3 is now right behind Janone and Brusefa Bandit, closing in by 2.4 seconds. Let's see if they can make a move soon. Jusjazek is making a solid move, reducing the distance to Wayne 94 and Nukambokam by 2.30 seconds. Genie and Brusette the Bandit are making a strong push, catching up to Gary No Name by 3.5 seconds. They're now fighting fiercely with Okayoki 3 for the 22nd position. Junon and Brusette the Bandit are behind the wheel of a Nissan Skyline 2000 in TR71, while Okayoki 3 is handling an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage. Amy's closing in on Serious Guy, reducing the gap by 5 seconds. Additionally, Lord Whisker Soflefeberg and Deplorably Apple are catching up to Aerofail, decreasing the gap by 3.7 seconds. Exciting developments as the race progresses. Famaka and Haruto 5 have advanced to P3, surpassing Air 40 and Amy in the process. Atium 1792 has skillfully moved up to the 4th position, surpassing both Air 40 and Amy in the process. Ranger 94 and Nukembokam are rapidly catching up to Air 40 and Amy, closing the gap by 51.2 seconds. Lacrea San 1980 and Sirainbot are also closing in on Rizaldi Adha, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Okayoki 3 is making a strong push, closing in on Videoking 24 and Jasek 72 with a 6.4 second gain. Greninjep has made a move to 7th place, overtaking Air 40 and Amy. La Croissant 1980 and Sir Ironbot are steadily closing the gap on Rizaldi Adha by 2.3 seconds. Ferro 23 is making a rapid advance on Greninjib, reducing the gap by 550.2 seconds. There's some shuffling in the back with La Croissant 1980, and Sir Ironbot climbing to 14th place, surpassing Rizaldi Adha. Hugot 3 is making a strong push, gaining on Air 40 and Amy, reducing the gap by an impressive 560.9 seconds. Sniku 515 and Super Melee are making impressive progress, closing in on Zygo 22 with a significant 447.9 second gain. Meanwhile, Aerofail has advanced to 9th place after overtaking Kokibinity and Expedited. The battle for the 9th spot is intense between Aerofail in a Ford Maverick 70 and Kokibinity and Xperi in an Austin Martin DB5 Vantage. Feds is rapidly catching up to Kamikaze 38 from Team Wangan Midnight Runners, reducing the distance by 559.9 seconds. Amy has advanced to 16th place, surpassing Bubardo and Polocostanin in a tight race. Currently, Amy is driving an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage, while Bubardo and Polocostanin are in a Facel Vega Facel 2. Todd Gardner and Maya are gaining on Mysterious Guy, reducing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Air 40 and Amy are in a tight fight with Bubardo and Polocostanin for the 16th position. Amy is piloting an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage while Bubardo and Polocostanin are in a Facel Vega Facel 2-2. Katsushok and Yuja John 7 are making a strong push, catching up to Bubardo and Polocostanin by 39.7 seconds. Looks like Okiyoki 3 is also gaining on Feds, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Lord Whiskers of Floofybag and Deplorable Apple are making a strong move, catching up to Aerafil with a decrease in the gap of 2.6 seconds. Amy is making significant progress, closing in on Rizaldi Adha by 2.5 seconds. The competition is heating up as the race intensifies. Andreac is quickly catching up to Lord Whiskas of Floofybag and Deplorably Apple, closing in by 2.4 seconds. Koki Benenity in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage and Xperi in another Aston Martin are fiercely contesting for the 9th position against Aerafil in the Ford Maverick 70. The competition is heating up as they navigate through the track. Aetion 1792 from Team Blue Star is making a move, catching up to Famaka and Haruto 5, decreasing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Justjazik is making a move on Aetion 1792, shrinking the distance between them by 3.4 seconds. Wayne Trainin T4 and Nukan Bokum make a solid move up to 6, successfully overtaking Greninjib. Meanwhile, Ferrer 23 is steadily catching up to Greninjib, reducing the gap by 2.3 seconds. Ferrer 23 is making moves, narrowing the gap to Wayne Trainin T4 and Nukembukam by 2.1 seconds. Lord Whisker Sofufiberg and Deplorably Apple are gaining on Koki Binati and Xperi, reducing the distance by 2.4 seconds. Okayoki 3 is closing in on Feds with a 3.4 second reduction in the gap. Ferry 23 is making a move on Wayne Trinity 4 and Nukembukam, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Gobado and Paulo Costanin are climbing to 17, surpassing Hargu 3. Snuku 515 and Super Milai are gaining on Zygo 22, decreasing the gap by 3.1 seconds. Snuku 515 and Super Melee are making a strong push, narrowing the distance to Zygo 22 by 373.6 seconds. Bobardo and Paulo Costanin are also gaining on Rizaldi Ada, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Okayoki 3 is steadily catching up to Feds, closing in by 2.2 seconds. Black was on 1980, and Sir Ironbot are closing in on Duff Dad and Seal 87, reducing the gap by 2 seconds. Snughook 515 and Super Milai are also gaining on Zygo 22, closing the distance by 2.2 seconds. The competition is heating up with these impressive pursuits. Gary No Name is making a move on Dranon and Brissette the Bandit, cutting the gap by 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Snuku 515 and Super Melee are gaining on Zygo 22, reducing the distance by 4.6 seconds. Aetion 1792 is rapidly gaining on Famaka and Haruto 5, decreasing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Koki Beninity and Xperi are swiftly catching up to Airafail, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Super Melee are closing in on Zygo 22, shortening the gap by 2.3 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Super Melee are narrowing the distance to Zygo 22 by 7.6 seconds. Just Jazik has advanced to 4th place, passing Aetion 1792. A fierce competition is ongoing between Just Jazik and Aetion 1792 for the 4th position. Welcome back, Texas Ranger SWAT. Good to have you back in the race car viewing action. Let's enjoy the AI drivers together. Okayoki 3 is making a strong move towards Feds, closing the gap by 5.7 seconds. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are catching up to Zygo 22 from Team Vanguard, reducing the gap by 6.6 seconds. Brianingip is also closing in on Aetion 1792, narrowing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Hunient makes a solid move up to 5th place, passing Waintra 94 and Nukembokem. Waintra 94 and Nukembokem respond by overtaking Fera 23 for the 6th spot. Fera 23 doesn't back down either, moving up to 7th by passing Just Juzik, Ot. Waintra 94 and Nukembokem are on the move now in 5th place after overtaking Greninja. Okayoki 3 is gaining on Feds, closing in by 2.5 seconds. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are also making progress, closing the gap on Zygo 22 by 2.1 seconds. Air 23 is closing in on Greninja, reducing the gap by 2.30 seconds. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 is gaining on Kamikaze 38, closing the distance by 4.4 seconds. Niku 515 and Super Melee are making significant progress, reducing the distance to Zygo 22 by 3.4 seconds. It's shaping up to be a thrilling battle at the front of the pack. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are making a move on Zygo 22 from Team Vanguard, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Hugged 3 advances to 17th place, successfully passing both Bobardo and Polo Costanine in the process. Andriek is making a move, narrowing the distance to Koki Beninity and Xperi by 3.4 seconds. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are making some moves, catching up to Zygo 22 by reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. The competition is heating up as they inch closer to Zygo 22. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are making a move on Zygo 22, reducing the distance between them by 3.7 seconds. Famaka and Haruto 5 are hunting down Toddar Gardner and Maya, bridging the distance by 3.2 seconds. Wayne 24 and Nukembokem are catching up to 81,1792, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Andrejk has advanced to Palaven, surpassing Koki Beninity and Xperi. Snako 515 and Super Melee are making significant progress, narrowing the distance to Zygote 22 by 5.1 seconds. Air 40 and Amy have advanced to 14 after successfully passing Luckrow on 1980 and Sir Ironball. The chase is on as Snako 515 and Super Melee continue to close in on Zygote 22, reducing the gap by 5.1 seconds. Snako 515 and Super Melee are making a strong move towards Zygote 22, diminishing the gap by 5.1 seconds. Wawawu, Tre 94, and Nukembokem are also gaining ground on A2 on 1792, reducing the distance by 2.3 seconds. Watch closely as Rizaldi Adha and Hugud 3 fiercely battle for 16, with Rizaldi Adha in a Mercedes-Benz 300 cell, and Hugud 3 in an Aston Martin DB5 Vantage. Snako 515 and Super Melee are making a strong push towards Zygote 22, closing in by 5.5 seconds. Andrew Royce is gaining ground on both Lord Whiskas of Luffybird and Deplorable Abel, reducing the gap by 4.6 seconds. Video King 24 and Jasak 72 are also closing in on Kazishuk and Eujon 7, narrowing the gap by 3.3 seconds. Guningit makes a strong move to claim the 5th position, passing Waintra 94 and Nukembokem. Just Jazik is swiftly catching up to Pharaoh 23, reducing the distance by 3.7 seconds. Snako 515 and Super Melee are on the hunt, narrowing the gap to Zygote 22 by 4.3 seconds. Famaka and Haruto 5 are closing in on Todar Gardner and Maya, reducing the gap by 2 seconds. Just Jazik is making gains on Waintra 94 and Nukembokem, closing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Snako 515 and Super Melee are reeling in Zygote 22, narrowing the gap by 4 seconds. Acheon 1792 is on fire, catching up to Todar Gardner and Maya with an impressive 39-second reduction in the gap. Remarkable progress by Acheon 1792. Meanwhile, Gary No Name is making gains on Draenon and Bersetha Bandit, cutting down the distance by 2.2 seconds. It's getting intense out there. Snako 515 and Super Melee are making impressive progress, narrowing the distance to Zygo 22 from Team Vanguard by 5.1 seconds. Rizaldi Adha, Bobado, and Paulo Costanin are fiercely contesting the 17th position in their Mercedes-Benz 300 cell and Vega Faisal Tattoo. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are gaining on Zygo 22, shrinking the distance by 2.5 seconds. Niku 515 and Super Melee are making impressive progress, gaining on Zygo 22 by 3.1 seconds. Snaku 515 and Super Melee are making gains on Zygo 22, reducing the distance between them by 2.9 seconds. Neko 515 and Super Melee are rapidly catching up to Zygo 22, reducing the distance between them by 2 seconds. Welcome back, Griffins 11. Good to see you back in the race car spectating crew. Let's enjoy the action together. Checkered flag party popper. Just Jazik from Team S1s is making a strong move, closing in on Wayne Train 94 and Nukembakam by reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Famaka and Haruto 5 are closing in on Wazirius Guy, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Famaka and Haruto 5 are making significant gains on Wazirius Guy, cutting the difference to 2.3 seconds. Okayoki 3 is making some impressive moves, catching up to Dranon and Bruset the Bandit with a 2.2 second reduction in the gap. Baltidu. Fail is closing in on Just Jazik by 3.1 seconds. Okayoki 3 is catching up to Junon and Brusetha Bandit, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Raining Jet is now within striking distance of Etiwana 1792, closing the gap by 3.1 seconds. The pressure is on for Etiwan 1792 as Greninjeb pushes forward. Ferret 23 from Team Blue Star is making a strong move, cutting the distance to H-Zone 1792 by 40 seconds. Okayoki 3 is making a move, catching up to Jernon and Brissette the Bandit, bridging the distance by 2 seconds. Okayoki 3 is steadily gaining on Video King 24 and Jasak 72, reducing the distance by 2 seconds. Okayoki 3 is putting pressure on Video King 24 and Jasak 72, now just 2.5 seconds behind. The competition is heating up. Hugget 3 has reduced the distance to La Croissant 1980 and Sirarambot by 2.4 seconds. Lord Whiskersoft Floofyberg and Deplorably Apple have managed to reduce the gap to Arafael by 2 seconds. Andre in the Mercedes-Benz 300 Cell 633 is currently fighting Koki Boninity and Xperi in the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage for the 11th position. This battle is heating up as they navigate the track. Andrzejek in the Mercedes-Benz 300 Cell 6.3 is making moves, overtaking Koki Boninity and Xperi for 11. There's a tight battle going on there. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 is gaining on Video King 24 and Jasak 72, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Welcome back, Mama Hasta. So glad to have you back in the race car watching action. Let's see which AI will impress you today. Rizaldi Ada from Team Quark Express is catching up to Barbado and Paulo Costanin, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 is closing in on Video King 24 and Jasak 72, narrowing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Welcome back, Peter J. Glad to have you joining us again for some epic AI race car action. Racing car, dashing away. Famaka and Haruto 5 are narrowing the distance to Wunserious Guy by 2.1 seconds. Air 40 and Amy are closing in on Duff Dad and Sility 7, reducing the gap by 3 seconds. Let's see how these progressions impact the race dynamics further. Duff Dad and Seal87 have advanced to 11th place, passing Koki Beninity and Xperi Daitvai. It's a tight battle between these drivers for the 11th position. Mama Hasta said, "Hey ni holama mi amor." Hello there. Glad to have you here. Let's keep the racing fun and exciting.